All right, welcome back to NewsWire here on SportsGrid. Man, it is great to catch up with my buddy. I'm not going to see him as much as I have in the past. Troy Johnston, big league player, of course, now with the Colorado Rockies here on the show. And I wanted to catch up with Troy because a very big announcement was just made recently about the World Baseball Classic, and he is involved. Troy, it is great to see you. It is great to catch up with you. I know life now, spring training in Arizona, that's a little different, right, than doing it in Florida?
It's a lot dustier here, and you don't hear that Florida bird in the morning. I never know what name it is, but I loved it. But it's a little bit different. Everything's a little closer, but the facilities are nice, and it's still baseball.
Yeah, it is. And Troy will get a great opportunity with the Rockies this season. And we're going to talk about that. He played with the Marlins 44 games last season, came up, made his big league debut. A story we'll tell here in a minute. Here is the story that I got to get to. Okay. The announcement is made for the World Baseball Classic. The rosters are announced last week. And Troy Johnston shows up on Team Israel, of all teams. I was absolutely stunned. I was shocked. Troy, with me being Jewish, and obviously rooting for Team Israel in the past, knowing a lot of guys are on the team. How did you end up on this team? Your lineage, I have to ask, because I think even in Marlins fandom, it was an absolute shock for all of us to see this pop up. How did this happen?
So this has been kind of about a year and a half in the works. Of course, we had two former Team Israel coaches with Alon and Moskos, and so they kind of helped me with that. My dad did some research after I took a genealogy test, and it said I came back and I was 25% Jewish, and I was like, I thought I was something else. I never knew. It hadn't really been passed down, and my dad's side of the family, he actually did some digging, and we have a lot of Jewish heritage. And so my grandmother is Jewish, and so she was kind of the deciding factor on my eligibility to, be a part of Team Israel. And I'm really excited to play on the WBC and represent Israel.
Yeah, and by the way, the Team Israel, I'm looking through the rosters. I mean, no disrespect to some of the other rosters, but you guys like have a pretty good squad. Like I think that there is even a better chance that Team Israel goes a little bit further than they did the last go around. Who do you know on that squad thus far? Are you familiar with any of the guys?
So Carrick is who I'm working out with currently with the Rockies. I know Mervis. I played with Horwitz in the fall league. Bader, of course, I played against with the Phillies, but I don't know him personally. So other than that, it's going to be a new squad for me, a new team, but I got a couple familiar faces.
Now, in order to be playing for this team, I'm guessing, Troy, that you had to want to do this. Like this was something in genealogy you could have just found out about it, and okay, that's cool. I found out something that I didn't know, but I'm guessing that you wanted to play in the World Baseball Classic, right?
Yes, well, I mean, you talk about playing in the big leagues, you talk about playing in the professional baseball in general. I mean, this is the Olympics of the big leagues. This is the Olympics of baseball in my mind, with no actual Olympic teams. And so this is like on the biggest stage, playing in Miami again, where the crowds are going to be very loud, very into it. It's playoff baseball, and I'm a sucker for playoff style baseball. I love the energy. I love how every pitch matters, every swing matters, every decision matters, and having the opportunity to play in the WBC, I get to scratch that itch a little bit.
Yeah, and I guess I will see you at that, and certainly following it along as I will. As you know, of course, I'm with the Marlins mostly. I mean, that's primarily what I'm doing here. And last season, you come up, Troy, and you make your major league debut. What a great moment I know it was for you and your family. And as you can see there, the numbers were pretty good too when you got called up. You had a nice little cup of coffee there. And so the emotions. Let's start off with that, with making your big league debut and how the season played out with Miami.
I am so grateful and so blessed to have the opportunity to go up and, even have, like I said, the opportunity to go up and play in the big leagues and, see if I can hold my own. And I felt like I had the confidence and I had the skills, after my long road in the minors to, have some success up there and do my best. And, it was so much fun going up there. And a lot of the teammates that I had in Miami were guys that I came up playing with. I knew most of them. I didn't know like four players on the whole team that I hadn't been teammates with previously. So it was fun. It was nice. It was really a testament to how hard my family worked for me and how much they put in effort, you know, trusting me and being a part of my life and my journey. And it was such a cool moment for not only for me but for them as well.
I mean, an extraordinary story too for Troy. A lot of folks probably completely unfamiliar. Troy making his debut 27, 28 years old, spent a lot of time in the minor leagues waiting to get his chance. So then you get it, Troy, with the Marlins, and then we find out a couple of months ago you're now moving on to the Colorado Rockies. So a little bittersweet, I would imagine, but probably I'm guessing the Rockies wanted you a little bit more than Miami, so you'll get a better opportunity to play there.
I hope so. I met some great people down here, and I've been training here for about 2 weeks, trying to get to know everybody, trying to get ready, trying to get pumped up for spring training, and they got a great thing going on over here, and I'm really excited to be a part of this new organization and even their new wave of people that have been brought in to make a difference here in Colorado.
And so, where does this do things stand as far as what they've told you, your role in the organization? Try to make the team, try to get as much PT. Is that's just it, like it's always been?
Yeah, I think realistically, baseball's baseball. They're going to go with the hot hand, and they're going to go with who can make the most impact. And all I can do is try to put my best foot forward and give my best effort. And if however the dice roll, they're going to make their decision and they're going to do what they're going to do. It's business, but I'm hoping to vie for a spot and wherever they need me, whether it's the outfield, first base, and if they need a guy to hit the gaps and hit a couple RBI double, I'm their guy.
Well, you did it all last year with the Marlins when you got called up. I was so happy to see you get that opportunity. I'm even happier to see you on a WBC roster to play for Team Israel. So congratulations again, Troy, to you with that. And we will see you next month in South Florida, and we'll cover, of course, the WBC here on Newswire. Thanks again for coming on the show. Really appreciate it.
No, thank you for having me. I really appreciate all the time.